Hi guys, the other day I was running this train on this track here. So when it got to this switch here, it stopped. So I was like, what's going on? I installed this about, I don't know, 11, 12 years ago and it was working fine. Recently I removed it to do some work on it. So I installed it. And what I was doing, I was cleaning the tracks on this section of the layout. So I removed all the trains from here and parked them all on that section over there. So I was bringing the trains to store them on this side so I can clean the tracks in the peninsula and on the left side of the layout. So anyway, I noticed the train the locomotive stopped when it got to this switch here. So after I checked it, I noticed the uh, point rails. One of them had no power. And usually what I do, I connect them with a wire together, so I'll show you later. And they get powered, but somehow it wasn't getting power, so I took it out and I'll show you what's going on. Alright, so this is the switch I took off. I did the repairs. This point rail here, it wasn't getting power. So another thing I did, I don't know if you have watched my other videos, I told you guys that the older Atlas switches, which have hinges here, I customize them and I take the hinges out. I make my own hinges and they look like this, no more hinges. So let me show you. So you see this one here, it got hinges. So I take those hinges out. I'm gonna make a video and show you guys how I do it. So this way they look nicer, more prototypical. And so as I said, I did this switch about 11, 12 years ago. And those days I didn't know or didn't know even they existed. The Tam Valley Depot Octopus 3, which I have on almost 99% of my switches right now. I think there's only 4 switches that I have done this way. The first ones I put in. So this is how I did it, especially in areas where I couldn't reach easily. So I installed the solenoid under the track. So this little lever here, I heat it up and I bend it. Then I insert it into this the rod here, and that moves the points. So this is how it works. See, it works really well. So as far as the power connection between these two here, so what I do, this is another one I have modified. So I don't know if you can see, there's a very thin wire here. It's 36 gauge. I solder it to the main track and jump it to the point tracks here. So there's one here too. So you can see these are the soldering points here. So this way these point tracks get power at all times, so they don't rely on connecting this here to the main track to get power. So no matter what, these point tracks, they will always have power. So what I noticed when I took this one off here, so that the jumper, it had come off, so this one had lost power, so the locomotive would get here. I don't know, somehow it should have, the front wheel should have picked up power, but I guess, I don't know, somehow it wasn't picking up, and so I decided to take it out and do that repair. So let me show you. So this is the control switch for those 3 solenoid powered switches. I have done the circuit board myself, so I have put momentary switches. You can see the LED changes color, so when it's green the train will go on this track, and the same here. So I can change the, oops, sorry, I can change the, let me show you the switch itself. So that's one there. So it works pretty well. So these areas, you can see there's about 5-6 inches deep, and these are the first original switches I put in. So later on I came up with the idea to install the servos the same way I did the solenoid under the switch. So these were the first ideas I had. And this one here, I came up with the idea, the circuitry, so I'm using relays for each switch here. Those are latching relays. So what I'm gonna do one day, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this for people who are still using, like me, these 3 only switches out of, I think I have 110 switches on my layout, and only 3 which I still use the solenoids on them. So I can show you guys how to do these, so you know which way the locomotive will go on the track. So these are bicolor LEDs. Let me install this switch, and after it's done I'll show you guys the results. Alright guys, I hooked up the wires. Just want to show you in the back. So I don't know if you can see. It works really well, actually. Really nice. If you have all powered old solenoid, you know, like switches like this, it's a simple way of doing it without adding any electronics. And these are the feeders for the tracks. So I'm gonna put the switch together and then I'll show you later. Alright, it's done. I ballasted it and it's ready to go. Working perfectly fine. I can't put any ballast around here because of these moving parts, so there's a little bit of a gap there, but I put some tape behind the thighs here and I poured ballast on it. It looks good. Okay, let's test it. It's I think 3 degrees incline here, so it's a little bit hard. It's struggling. So the loco would cut off every time right around there. So alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. I have some other cool videos coming up. Alright.